welcome back to Didsbury Art Studio. I'm Sally, who runs Didsbury Art Studio and is an art teacher. And in today's tutorial, I'm going to run through another smocking piece which is called Honeycomb. So shall we get into it? So this is my fabric, and I've got under here my grid, my 1-inch squared grid that I've got on A2 paper, and obviously shuffled the paper underneath and done the air erasable pens all the way across every inch, which means that I have 22 inches across and I have 16 inches, Layla, 16 inches down, so 16 squares down and 22 squares across. And I'm just going to finish off adding my dots in this little area here. Now, if you don't want to do what I've done with the grid on paper, which is something I already had, then you can use a ruler and just mark out as you want, 1-inch squares with the ruler, and you can decide how big you want it to go. But I want mine to be quite wide. I'm just going to finish off by adding my pen to the corners of the squares, like so, and then we're all done. So I've measured my upholstery thread and done it the width of the fabric, and I'm going to come up from the back. I've got my fabric the right side up, tiny little stitch through the dot, like so, and then you're going to do one big long stitch to the next dot and come up from the back and pull it up. Now you're just doing a regular kind of large runner stitch here. You're not going to pull it tight at all. That's all going to happen much later. Just pull that through. And literally we are going to do the whole thing like this. And I'm going to use a different length of thread for each row that I do. So you're literally going to leave the thread dangling on this left hand side in a minute, the overhang, the leftover thread, and then I'm going to cut a new length of thread for the next row. Now I have, as I said, I have gone for quite a wide sort of piece of fabric because I want the sample to be quite wide. Obviously it's going to shrink this width of the fabric once we gather it all and pleat it and make it into the honeycomb pattern. So I'm now just nearly there. That's taken quite a while, hasn't it? There we go. Pull it through like so. That's how it looks. So I'm now going to do all the other rows. To do is cut up a load of threads the right length, just count down how many lengths of thread that I need to do. Efficient, saves a bit of time rather than stop starting. I was doing all right, by the way. We're in lockdown in the UK from tomorrow. Third time. There we are, finished. So what we've got to do now is we've got to pull the threads that are dangling on the left hand side over here, just a couple at a time. We're going to push the fabric like this, and it's all going to go into pleats. Like so. I'm going to do a few at a time. This is very satisfying, I've got to admit. It's lovely. So now it's time to decide on what thread colour would work best with your piece. So if you want a contrasting colour, you can go for a brighter or a darker colour. I want one that's just going to blend in. Can't see anything in that one, but we've got a few down here that I could take a look at. So I'm thinking, this one. So once you've got your thread organised, I'm going to come up from the back here, like so, and then I'm going to head over to the next pleat, pull those quite tight. So, and then I'm going to take my needle back down and head over from the back again, head over to this next pleat here. Anytime you want to tighten up, just pull this thread. Pinch the two pleats together. And do 2 little stitches. The next bit, the next row, we come over here, take your needle up here and notice that we're starting on a different pleat. We're not going on that first one there, we're going on the second one, and then we jump to the next pleat and connect those two together. 2 little stitches as before. Once again, take your thread back to the back side of the fabric, and then we're going to come up to the next pleat here, pull the next pleat together and a little stitch over the top. So you can see that's the last one, and I'm literally going to do the same. Well, I'll take that thread down to the other side because I've done the little stitches now, and I'm going to do exactly the same on all the other rows. it could go on the mannequin. I was just thinking with this one that I've done here, you know, you could stretch that out around the side, kind of cinch it in a little bit here. See when you pull it in, play around with it, or even stretch it out. That's just gorgeous, really nice. So I hope you enjoyed this video today and that you got something out of it, and that, you know, if anything, it just maybe distracted you if you're not working at the moment, if you're in lockdown or wherever you are in your own time. Thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me, and don't forget to check out some of the other playlists that I've done. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.